What is going on, guys? It is Blank here, back with a new Fortnite guide. So today I'm going to be showing you guys some great ways to outplay your opponents with some offensive and defensive strategies. Also, the V-Bucks giveaway is still going on, so make sure to visit the link in the description to enter. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications if you guys want to win a free Amazon gift card every single time I upload. All you gotta do is check the pinned comments section, and in the pinned comments I'll have posted an Amazon gift card code every time I upload. By turning on notifications, you'll have a way better chance of getting here first and redeeming that code. Anyways guys, let's get this guide started. I'll be showing you guys tips and tricks and just good techniques of building against your opponent. Fortnite revolves around building, and if you're not a good builder, then you won't get far in your matches. I'm here to help you guys out and just give some great techniques that you can practice. So let's talk about the 3 different materials and which should be used for what. So you guys know that there's wood, then brick, and then metal. Now you might notice a lot of people use wood to defend themselves and engage into fights. That's because wood has the highest starting point of health, which is 100, and maxes out at 205 seconds. Pay attention to how fast each one maxes out. Wood's also the quickest material that will reach 200 HP, while brick starts at 90 and maxes out at 300 HP in about 14 seconds, and it hits 200 HP in about 6.5 seconds. And the last material we have is metal. This material starts at 80 HP and maxes out at 400 HP in about 19 seconds, and it can reach 200 HP in about 7.5 seconds. So there's a pretty big difference in these times. Now the main focus was to look at how fast each one hits 200 HP. So which material is best for what? Alright, so let me explain. You always want to use wood to build during intense situations like fighting someone. If he's destroying any of your materials, make sure to rebuild with wood if he won't stop shooting at you. You'll avoid any damage from his consistent shooting if you just keep spam building wood over and over. Once again, because wood's starting health is the highest and hits 200 HP the fastest out of all the materials. Now, if you're not under any pressure and you're in a good area to build a base, then you should be using metal as your starting point because it's got the most maximum HP, which means it'll take longer to destroy. Some people might not have much metal and usually no one does, so make sure to use brick instead. But I suggest you at least have some metal by the end of the game, or just try to gather a little bit as it'll really help keep your fort together end game. If not, then make sure to at least have brick to build the bottom of your fort with, because the first floor is really important. If an enemy destroys your first floor, the whole base will collapse. Let's quickly show some of the material edits I'll be using in this guide. Now, before we start, one thing I want to mention is that the first box you start at will always be the lowest point, and the last one will be the highest. Alright, so the first thing we'll make is a staircase. Place a floor and start at any corner and just build a row. Super simple. Alright, so next let's make a door. Place a wall and edit the middle and the bottom boxes. This will also work on the left and right side. Now, let's make a big opening. So, to do this, select the middle box and then the 3 bottom ones. It will make a pretty big opening, and one thing I want to mention is that anywhere I make a door in this guide, you can replace the door with this bigger opening, as it can be easier to get out of since you don't need to open anything. With a door, you need to open it, and that does require an animation which takes an extra second. Alright, let's move on. So next we'll make some windows. Edit any of the middle squares, which will make a bunch of windows. The middle one will have the biggest window, while the left and right ones will have smaller ones. Now, this last edit will rotate stairs. Really useful for inside bases. To do this, edit any of the middle rectangles, then edit any of the boxes to the opposite side of the rectangle you selected. Any of the 5 boxes will work, so you must edit the rectangle in the middle, but then selecting any of the 5 boxes will still rotate the stairs. Now, in a situation where both of you are building stairs, but he beats you to the high ground, you're gonna need to take back that high ground. So, what you can do is build some floors around his stairs, then box yourself in, and then build over top of his high ground. Now, I'll show you 2 scenarios. A lot of the times people will grab the high ground and jump off and try to shotgun you. So if you see the other player jumping off onto your platform, then build stairs above him, and now you've taken control of the high ground. So from here you can get a drop on him that he won't expect by editing the floor you're on. To do this, edit the opposite 3 rows to make a staircase. Your side will disappear, so make sure you're ready to have your gun out. Best bet is to pull your shotgun to do that extra damage. Now, you can also hold the high ground and peek in and out while taking shots at him, as it's a lot easier for you to shoot down on him since you can third person around. Now, if you're trying to aggress and build over your enemy's base, but he ends up shooting you down, build a box around yourself with a set of stairs. Now, he thinks you're healing, so he's gonna keep shooting at your little box, and as he's doing that, he might drop down because he thinks you need to heal. Right after building the box, edit the roof and open the panel. Then proceed to build up by building a wall, followed by a floor, then a staircase, and keep building up until you've got about a floor or 2 above him. Now you can peek over without exposing yourself and take pop shots at him. If you've taken out his shields, you can probably jump down and hit him with a shotgun, but if he immediately tries to take back the high ground, build over top of his platform. From here you can edit your platform and shotgun him as he won't expect the edit. Alright, now, if you're roaming around and you suddenly get shot, the first thing you want to do is build in the direction of the shots. Now, there are a few ways you can approach this scenario. The first is to build a wall, then a staircase, then repeat it one more time. You would have to take out 2 sets of walls and 2 sets of stairs. And if he keeps shooting at your wall, then take a quick peek and put some shots into him. This scenario is great early game if you want to quickly kill him and not use up all your utilities on one guy. Now, the next thing you could do is build a bunch of walls followed by a bunch of stairs and keep building sideways. This allows you to peek over the guy with multiple angles, and it would be pretty hard for him to readjust his crosshair. You can use this early to mid game. Now, this last method is to build a box around yourself. Once you start getting shot at, start building a box followed by a staircase, and you want to make about 3 floors as it gives you that high ground and you won't take damage if he takes out the bottom of your base. Also, make sure your last layer is made of brick. Once you've made that last layer, you can hit it a few times to give you a clear vision on anything around you. This allows you to pre-aim your shots pretty easily. So, say you do take a good chunk of damage from fighting an enemy close. A great thing to do is build up 3 floors, and once you've gotten to the 3rd floor, build a roof and then drop down to the 2nd floor while placing a roof above yourself. Now, the enemy doesn't know which floor you're on. This will give you the time to heal, since he might get to the 3rd floor and not find you, as he's got to go down another floor, which then you can edit yourself to the bottom, make a door, and build yourself another base to get that high ground. You can also place traps around the inside of your base. That way, if he's on the roof, you can edit the top piece and make him fall through. Now, if you do end up building that 2nd base to gain the high ground advantage, you might start getting shot at from somewhere else. So a tip is if someone tries to snipe you or shoot you from the back, but you want to keep focus on your current opponent, then you can build a wall around yourself except for the area you're focusing on. That way you don't expose your back to anyone. Now, I'll show you a cool technique that can bamboozle your enemy. You'll want to create a fort and then make sure your most exposed wall in your fort is facing your enemy. You can then edit the middle and make some windows to quickly get a shot off your enemy. They won't expect you editing your wall. Usually they expect you to peek from the top. Alright, so if you have already opened the wall but ended up missing, close off the wall, because the next time you peek, open the wall again but peek from the top of your fort. Once your enemy sees you've made another window again, he'll reposition his crosshair on the window because he's seen you do it before. You can then get a peek from the top and he won't expect it. I have a little example here. So I first shoot from the top and then I open up a window and shoot from the window. I didn't hit the shot, so I close it and then reopen it, but I ended up peeking from the top. So for some reason this enemy never cared about the window I opened up and just shot from my above point. So the trick didn't work on him. I could have probably kept shooting through the window and he still wouldn't have peeked me from the top. Now, a good player would have acknowledged the windows, and you can absolutely bamboozle good players with this trick. Just try it out, guys, and you'd be surprised. Well, that concludes this guide. I'll be making more building technique videos throughout this month, so be sure to stick around. Also, a sub and a like would be awesome, as once again, guys, it still helps me out and it keeps me pushing as much quality content as I can. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this guide. I hope it can help some of you guys out, and I'll see you guys on the next one.